Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Game 3 of the J. Ross Robertson Cup Final in the Best of 5 series. The series is tied at 1, so it's a best of 3 now. And this is Game 3. In goal tonight for the Wentworth Gryphins, the defending Robertson Cup champions and Allen Cup champions, is Matthew Camilleri. On the season, he had a 3.71 goals against average, but his 4-0 record looks really good at a 3.97 goals against average here in the playoffs. Daniel Svedin, who you just saw get the Order of Canada, no, that's not really what it was. It was an award for the Allen Cup Hockey League, also gets the start. He's 3-0 in the playoffs with a .925 save percentage in the playoffs and 2.90. He led the league in the regular season with .928 goals against save percentage, and we're ready to go underway. Game 3 here. If you don't know what happened, Game 1 went to overtime. Wentworth won. Game 2 again in overtime, won by the Wentworth Gryphins on by the Stoney Creek Tigers on Thursday night. This one promises to be scintillating. Foss gets the puck in, but it's taken out. Roberto misses it. That's Poliziani, makes a nice play ahead to Cordell. James a shot. Fires it wide. Hutchings is going to play it out of the zone into center. Poliziani's going to get it and pay it back into the zone to James. Geiger has it at center and fires it. Doesn't make it all the way in. Geiger had a big 4-point night, 2 goals and 2 assists in here last Saturday night in that stunning 9-8 game. Long shot goes wide The stick was lifted, so icing was waved off. Puck rolled to the front of the net, and that's where Camilleri will cover up. So again, game one of this series, the story was a overtime win by Wentworth, who led 4-0 at one point, and then 8-3 to start the third period. But the Stoney Creek Tigers chipped away at that all through the third and tied it up on a late goal tip-in by Essery. And it was Alex Hutchings who scored the winning goal for the Wentworth Gryphins in that one. Back underway here. Essery brings it in over the line and dumps it into the corner. Essery plays it behind the net, looking for someone to center it to. They still play it behind the net. Jamming away at it, Harvey's on his man. And it's going to be McLeod playing it out to Giftopoulos, who chips it ahead. Cut ahead as Forsland plays it safely for the Tigers and flips it out to center. A quick change brings Cameron White on for Wentworth Griffiths, and the lead pass is tipped in. Goes into the corner. Forsland winds it around to Ken Salt, who we haven't seen play all that much this season, but he did get the requisite 2 games in. And he's wearing number 49 out there for Stoney Creek. Harvey overskates the puck. Salt, this is it. Harvey with a nice little chase. Aims for the slot, but nicely knocked down by Forsland. Now playing it off the boards. Webster was unable to get it, and the Wentworth keeps it into the zone, but nothing more. Comes back for Tyler Hoare, who plays it off the boards. And here's Matt Robertson. Back for Chinagorak. Long pass. Intercepted by Lewis. He turns the other way and then fires it over on this side. And dumped down. Fleming and Corbett coming on the ice now for the defensive pairing for Wentworth. Lead pass in the neutral zone. A cautious start here. Harvey's shot gets deflected and goes out of play. Game 2 was Thursday night in Wentworth, and this time it was Stoney Creek's turn to give up the lead in the third period, but it was only 3-1, and that's not a very big lead in this league. In overtime, it was number 9 Cole Poliziani scoring for Stoney Creek to tie this series at 1. Point shot there just goes wide of the net. Fleming, he'll try another one. That gets deflected and goes wide and played along the half boards. Corbett trying to keep it in again, but it's stolen. Off the boards, a nice play for Mitchell Reed. Mitchell Reed gets it into the slot area, but nobody there. Fleming playing the puck into the corner and trying to wind it around. Now off the boards. Corbett picks it up for Wentworth and flips it through center. Knocked down by Roberto. It's in his feet. Madge plays it off the boards. Vela, one tap, and second tap ahead, rolls in all the way on Camilleri, who gets the big stick down and leaves it for his defenseman there. Now it's Dan Poliziani going back into his own zone. Now behind the net. Good raucous crowd in here if we look at the far side of the rink there, and it is just packed end to end. And wouldn't you know, we've got a drummer. Ryan Foss spins around back in his own zone, gives it to Reed Yoakum. Lead up pass, doesn't get all the way through, and now Foss has got a bit of a chance. Tough angle into the slot. They score! Reed Yoakum gets Wentworth on the board first. It's 1-0 Gryphins. Well, the puck got ahead to Foss, and Foss threw it over to an open Yoakum in the slot. And he found the 14 hole as it went just underneath a position speed in there. And that's a big goal to start this one. What's interesting is most of the goals have come very early on in the periods in this series. And that one no exception. But 4 minutes is almost pretty late, as most of them often get scored in the first minute so far. Tricito back to get it, plays it off the boards. Yoakum, the goal scorer, fires it back. They wind it around and dump it in. Wentworth last week came into this rink and got a practice in because they talk about the boards being very lively, and as Matt Sagret said, everything just filters to the middle. So you've always got to be mindful, and none of that was more obvious than the weird deflection goal that was a shorthanded one for Wentworth last week. Essery plays it in the corner. Now it goes to this side to Hutchings. Hutchings has a man on him in the slot. Essery scores! Picked up below the half boards, and it's tied just like the series at 1. Essery, top shelf. Well, Ryan, we thought we'd see a hockey game, and 30 seconds later, this game's tied. And it's nice to see the crowd involved. The crowd only really got involved last week here in Stoney Creek after it was tied, and a few people had left. A few people we know. Ron Berry, I'm looking in your direction. Sinagorak plays it up. Salt brings it in over the line. That shot is blocked, and it looks rather painful as I think Diodati's down on the ice. He's going to skate off. Here comes Fleming on to replace him, and he's wincing on the bench. That is Tyler Hoare. Took one there. Not Diodati. Sinagorat plays it. We played 5 minutes. It's 1-1. Wentworth keeps it low. Gryphins tries to center it bad. Just hopped over Fleming's stick, but it could present a 2-on-1 going the other way. Salt steps on it over the line, gets it into the slot. Webster. Oh, he's hit hard by Fleming and then fails into the boards. Now back to the point to Geiger. Geiger shoots. Blocked in front, but he may get a second chance. Gignac tried to play it back, and it's missed. This one's going to go all the way for icing. So if you believe in numbers in this series, 9 seems to be the magic number. 9 goals is what it took to win game 1. But also, both overtime goal scorers wear number 9 for each team. Alex Hutchings wearing number 9. And Cole Poliziani with the overtime winner, also wearing number 9. We'll have a face-off to the blocker side of Camilleri. Madge plays it there. It's in the face-off dot. They tried to play it to the front of the net. Madge with the second shot. Camilleri already down. That one came right in front, was nearly tipped home by Mitch Reed. Wentworth comes up with the puck, gets it to the line, not out. Kept in, and that's about all they can do as Giftopoulos brings it out. Maybe not. Vela was all over him and nearly stole the puck. Over on this side, Elijah Roberts looking to feed it into the middle, but play it off the boards. He knew exactly what he was doing there as he played it off the boards for a centering pass. That was a pool shot. Now Stoney Creek saying, we're going to try that too. Puck filters to the front of the net. It's loose. They jam away at it, and it goes now behind the net. Winding around is Mitchell Reed. He's got a man on him. Gryphins clear it to the line and out. Comes back in, but this is Elijah Roberts. Now playing to Kyle Lewis. His long shot stopped by Sweden, comes all the way back to the point to Harvey. Harvey takes it down low and will go behind the net with the puck. Centers it for Wentworth. This is Yoakum, the goal scorer. Point shot. Stopped by Sweden and steered out of play. Good pressure there by Wentworth, and an even better save by Sweden. Coming into this game, the leaders that we would look at, and just in the playoffs, Alex Hutchings is second overall with 10 points. Cole Poliziani has 3 goals and 10 assists and leads the league with 13 points coming into tonight's contest. Long point shot, that also deflects out of play. And Harvey in front of the net, causing trouble, usually at the epicenter of it. Knocked over Sweden, but apologized immediately, and that seems to be sufficient for the rest of the Tigers on that occasion. Lewis going to take the draw. Sweden given a moment to have a beverage. You know, he does know a lot about the spa business, and it is very, very important to hydrate. Back to the point it goes. Yoakum. And Sweden saw that all the way, thought about playing it to the side, but caught it as it was going over his head. And like a bright idea, he brought it down. You'd rather see that light bulb above your head if you're a goaltender and not the red one. Lewis playing it off the boards and then back to the point. This is Yoakum again over on the far side. It's a shot by Caruso. That doesn't get anywhere near the net. Sorry, that was Diodati. Forsland now plays it, has a man on him. Lewis, a small customer compared to his competition there, but did a good job muscling the puck. Now it's Mike Roberto. Roberto trying to get to the front of the net, can't there, as he's ridden off the puck. But the puck stays in as Cole Poliziani tries to play it down low. Back to the point, Forsland. Screen shot gets blocked in front. James sends it over the far side. Hard shot. And I think Roberto got out of the way just in time as Camilleri snagged that. Interesting thing about Mike Roberto, he is the all-time leader with 86 points in playoff history in the Allen Cup League. Playing long careers with Stoney Creek, with the Hamilton Steelhawks, and now with the Stoney Creek Tigers. and Stoney Creek Tigers as well. Um, he's also one goal away from tying Brad Bonello's all-time record. Back to the points. Chinagorak fires a shot. Low, loose, off to the side. Really nice pad save by Camilleri, who was outstretched to stop that on the short side. Here comes White. He's going to clear the puck up through center. And that's about all he can do is Sinagorak bats it back to center, and Hoare will fire it back in. Wentworth will have to tag up, but it comes right in front. Long shot off the goal post. That was Matt Hoare who let that one go. Here comes Frank Petrantonio. Josh Petrantonio. Anyway, down low it goes into the corner. Poliziani picks it up. Skates the other way. Still wearing that cage from that messy left on the ice here a few weeks ago. A lot of DNA. Webster from a tough angle plays it through the crease. Gignac gets to the puck first and then fires it down low for Salt. Unable to center it, but Salt will play it again, and Gignac will get a chance. Penalty forthcoming here as Gignac looks like to get a stick up on his face. And this is going to be a real story here because the power play for the Tigers has been very good. It's a high sticking. Salt is going off the ice and leaving a dotted trail like he's in a family circus comic right behind him. But this trail, unfortunately, is red. And Stephanie will put some of those award-winning training tactics to work on the bench as Salt is leaking. You know what's a good way to cauterize a wound? You guessed it, salt. The story, though, here is the Tigers have one heck of a power play in the postseason. During the regular season, they were pretty good at 30.6%, and now they are 10 for 20 attempts here in the postseason. That's a pretty good sample size. So they're scoring on half of their opportunities. The penalty kill has been pretty good for Wentworth. They've allowed 7 goals on 25 attempts and 72% penalty kill. But what they do have is a shorthanded goal. And granted, it was an ugly one last week that bounced out in front. Wentworth has taken advantage in this series of the building that you've seen here. They did get a practice in, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, just to see what the rink was like. Did the Jays win? The Blue Jays win. It's a 4-minute major because there's blood, and now they have to bring out a crew to mop it up a bit. Certainly not as bad as what we saw with Poliziani a couple weeks ago, and with the linesman last week. So they've got the scraper. Stephanie making sure that Salt, looks like it's his nose area they're working on. Stings the nostrils. So the next game in this series is Thursday night in Wentworth. This is going to be a 4-minute power play. It is a big advantage for Stoney Creek. Has just looked really good on the power play. But yeah, they got that ugly, Wentworth got that ugly shorthanded goal last week. Just on a dump in that took a strange bounce that Wentworth had been practicing in this rink and maybe we're a little bit aware of. It's not only that it redirected right in front of the net, but it redirected softly. As Sagret tried to turn and come back into the ice, he kind of lost his edge behind the net and caught by surprise. I don't think if he had been on his feet, he would have been able to stop it, as it truly was a present at the skates of Giftopolis. Other facts, things that we're looking at in terms of milestone, courtesy of Mike Marasco, who's really great. If you haven't checked it out on the Allen Cup Hockey website, Mike Marasco really posts some excellent pieces there. And he's really good at tracking a lot of the statistician stuff here that we're happy to have. Daniel Sweden is 2 wins away from tying Mike Moll for the all-time league record of 24 wins. The most in the league by a goaltender. And keeping an eye on Mike Roberto, who is number 10 for Stoney Creek, getting out there on that power play. Salt. He's got a towel. He's getting brushed in the face. Some of the bench mates laughing. But that's what Steph does. Great work. Sister Concepta would be proud. Stephanie and I had the same grade 1 teacher in Fonthill, who was a nun. There it is. I'm Catholic. I've said it. Non-practicing. Although I'm a Leafs fan, so I need someone to blame. James loses that draw in the corner. Wentworth comes up with it, gets it to the point, but Poliziani keeps it in and plays it down low to Roberto. Roberto, 1 goal away from tying Brad Bonello's record of 37 goals in the postseason here in Allen Cup. Geiger fires a shot. That was nicely scooped up by Camilleri. But if it gets by his glove or tip there, it's all the way. And he had his glove out there while he was kind of on his knees. Looks like to have a good crowd that we're filtering in here, eh, Ryan? They're starting to get packed to the ends, and it's getting really tight. Point shot comes loose. And Camilleri loses his mask. Probably a brush trying to come out to stop that point shot. 3:33 to go in this power play. It's tied at 1 here in Game 3 of the Robertson Cup Final. The Wentworth Gryphins, the defending Robertson Cup champions, as well as the Allen Cup champions. But right now, we're playing for the J. Ross Robertson Cup. J. Ross Robertson, a big proponent of minor hockey in Canada, really believed in keeping it amateur and had minor hockey and senior hockey and a third trophy. And that's what we're playing for, is the senior amateur hockey trophy here in Ontario. Hutchings brings it in over the line. It's stopped and picked up. Power play, a 4-minute one here for Stoney Creek as Cordell James brings it into the corner. It bounces a little bit on him. Geiger will wide it around to Poliziani. Poliziani finds Geiger, centered, nobody home, and it's going to be easily cleared, but not down the ice by Wentworth. That will be enough for a change as they get a man on. Geiger tried to make a cute little pass there to gain the zone and lost the puck. Long shot by Hutchings, winds around the boards. Roberto trying to get to it. He has white all over him, and he really fights for position to gain that puck. Geiger picks it up in the corner. Tough angle shot, deflected into the corner. Skips over his stick, and Gryphopoulos again finds the puck at his feet and gets it down the ice. Tricito turns around, plays it in for Essery. Essery to Tricito, streaking. Back to Essery again, and a nice save by Camilleri. That might be Stoney Creek's best chance so far on this power play. Halfway through the first period, it's 1-1, and 2:22 to go in the power play. Petra Antonio leads it up to Whalen. Whalen with a backhand insult is going to give chase. He's all cured up now and has one nostril stuffed. Back to the point to Tricito. Across the ice, they couldn't hold the line. They are not Max Webster. Off the boards, Lewis fires that one down the ice, and Gryphopoulos might have had a chance there if it had bounced a little more favorably. He's had quite a few breaks in this series. Puck luck, it's about being in the right place and being prepared. Lewis flips that one, and it'll go all the way down the ice. Sweden will come out to play it. Harvey giving chase. Sweden plays it behind the net. Geiger will come back to get it. Harvey chases his man and hits him into the corner. Just turned 7 o'clock Eastern. 9 minutes to go in the period and $1:27 to go in the power play. This extended power play. Wentworth has done a good job. Really only one good scoring opportunity so far as Geiger brings it out. This is Poliziani. He's in alone. Poliziani backhand. Big save by Camilleri. He wasn't sure where it was. And it's between his legs, and he gets a big pat on the back of the pads from his defenseman there, who let that through. And the hero of Game 2 with a great chance right there. There is mine does not for rent. I'm off key. Terrible. Terrible, Ryan. Don't be afraid to call me out on it. His mind is not my rent. I did listen to Distant Early Warning again this week. A little feedback sound, but those pedals are really strong. On the Terry Brown remix, it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Hutchings and Lomas. Hutchings stops, pulls up, fires a shot, and Sweden got most of it. May have hit the side of the net on the way out. 43 seconds, and there are 3 Tigers up on the play. A drop pass may be coming into the slot. Poliziani shoots. That doesn't get through. It's blocked, and Hutchings will fire that one. Has enough spin on it to get to the blue line. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Here comes Stoney Creek. They fire it in the corner. Off the boards, Webster plays it. Now to the line, Poliziani keeps it. He's really solid at doing that, but he can do no more than keep the zone. McLeod really pressing on these shorthanded situations. Wentworth not shy about forechecking at all. Over the line, Salt plays it into the corner to Webster. Webster has a man in front, gets it to the front of the net. The penalty is over, and Wentworth is at full strength, and they clear the zone. Elijah Roberts over the blue line. It's offside. So Wentworth with a pretty good job on the kill there for 4 minutes. So 2 or 3 really good opportunities, 2 for sure. Poliziani's partial breakaway, and Essery's slot opportunity. Really nice saves by Camilleri, who's looking really strong. He's 4-0 in these playoffs. Webster fires it down. That bounces off the boards. Plays to the middle, as foretold by Matt Sagret. Giftopoulos brings it in over the line, fires a shot. The whistle went for offside as the shot was, as Giftopoulos was in his windup, so no animosity there. No unwritten rules being broken. They say how the winning run was scored. That's first intermission research, Pat. Gignac plays it into the corner. Corbett back to get it for Wentworth. Wentworth plays it off. Now in the slot, Salt was there. He was waiting for it. I think Giftopoulos saw him and may have had an opportunity to lift the stick. That's all hearsay and conjecture at this point. Into the corner it goes. Fleming plays it off the boards. Giftopoulos through center. Giftopoulos with a bit of room. Nice poke check there by Sinigoratz. Webster with a nice move to get around his man. He gets it going the other way. Gignac brings it in over the line. Drop pass with Salt. It's poked away, and Harvey and Lewis come away. Here comes Lewis over the line. Drops to Harvey. Harvey shoots. Deflected wide. Goes behind the net. Puck is still back there. Harvey trying to find men. Lewis got bowled over from behind. Bit of a yard sale there in the corner. Comes back to the point. Hoare fires a shot, but it gets deflected. And Harvey was standing in the blue paint right in front of Sweden. That one's deflected out of play with 6:19 to go in the opening period. We're tied at 1. There's Ron Barry. Ron Blue Line Barry. Hey, you could do that. Celebrity in the crowd. Harvey spins around, gets it back to the point. Long shot by White, deflected into the corner. Madge plays it around to his man. This is Trucito. Makes a couple of nice moves. It gains the zone, deflected down. They're saying it's on the other side of center. And this will come back all the way for icing with 6:01 in the opening period. 1-1 the score. Ronnie Blue Line Barry. Ron's on the blue line. The bomb. Skeleton Lake Islander legend. Deflected, they score! Lomas in front, a slow point shot, redirected perfectly in the slot, and Wentworth leads 2-1. Mike Marasco playing Toto's Hold the Line, which is exactly what Wentworth did on that clearing attempt. I'm telling you, Marasco's pretty witty on some of these song selections. come down to a game and fully appreciate it. Poliziani again behind the defense. Gets around on his man. He bumps Camilleri, and he's going to go for 2 on that as the crowd moans. Well, he was out of his crease, but they feel that he gave him something extra. It's going to be a slash to Cole Poliziani. Slashing Cole. So now the Wentworth power play, which is 6 for 23 in these playoffs and operating at 26.19%, will get a chance to go. Stoney Creek has allowed 4 goals on 17 attempts. Their penalty killing is 76.5% here in these playoffs. Hutchings off the draw over on the far side. A point shot gets deflected. The bumper play in front, not working. Look out, Webster's got a bit of speed there. Had designs to go to the front of the net. That's gloved ahead towards the bench. You'll knock it out any way you can here in the playoffs and when you're killing penalties. Foss with some nice moves. Gains the zone. Foss still has the puck, but Lomas got it now. Had it knocked off his stick at the last. Hutchings, ever dangerous, leads the league in postseason goals. Led the season in regular season goals, too. He's not afraid to shoot. Fleming lets that go. Nice save by Sweden. Back to the point. Fleming now over on the far side. Fleming will let it go. Deflected, hits the leg, and goes out of play. 4:46 to go in the first period. Wentworth Gryphins 2, Stoney Creek Tigers 1. There's a $1.09 to go on the power play. McLeod takes the draw. Foss wins it. Now McLeod gets it back to Foss. Now to the point, Fleming. Fleming deciding what to do. It's back to Foss. To Fleming. Fleming walks across the line. Foss looking for something to do. They set up the boxing out well. Not too much traffic to try and get a shot through. Hutchings. Valuable time being killed. Everybody kind of stationary. Not a lot of movement. Foss back on that side. McLeod positioning his large body in front of the net. This is Fleming. Gets it back on this side to Foss. Now in the slot to Hutchings. Hutchings shoots. Blocked once by Sinigoretz, but loose in the crease. They score! The puck just came down before Sinigoretz knew where it was. And that gave Hutchings an opportunity to let it go. And Sweden did not see it till it was behind him. And that's a power play goal for Wentworth, who now lead in this first period 3-1. Tracito to center. Back behind the net, Forsland plays it there, and it's going to be Tracito with another chance. Wentworth showing their class and quality in this game. Home team's struggling in this one to get a lead at home. I don't think either team has had a lead at home in this series. Tracito plays it off, but Lewis intercepts. Now it's down low. Centered. Loose in the slot. Knocked off a stick. Whalen came back. First play out. Essery will have to play it again. That one gets dumped into the corner. Petrantonio is going to give chase. He was anticipating Camilleri winding it around, but couldn't get to the puck. Poliziani fires it low. Bounces off the boards. They try to center it. Still behind the net. Center comes loose to the side of the net. Petrantonio thought about firing it. It is a man in front. Caruso just lifted the stick. And unable was Essery. Here comes Geiger stepping in. Fires that one high. Nearly picked up his own rebound. Poliziani's going to have to let it go. Deflected. Hits the side of the net. Geiger centers it. It's loose in front. Poliziani steps into one. Waits. Oh, he just missed the top corner with that attempt. Now Petrantonio comes back. Good pressure there and a nice bounce back shift for the Tigers. Playing it in the corner. This is Webster. Diodati on that one. Will make one pass. Comes loose. Salt giving chase. Now off the boards. Hoare couldn't get it out. Gignac. Still, that's one Camilleri didn't see, and he saved it. Poliziani thought about pinching, but it filtered to the front, and Wentworth's able to clean it. In on the other side, Gignac, Webster, and cleared by Wentworth. Hoare makes one play, and it's going to be Webster coming back to support the puck with just over 2 minutes to go in the opening period, and Wentworth Gryphins leading the Stoney Creek Tigers 3-1. Webster dumps it in the corner. He gives chase. This man on him. Down Hoare goes. Webster and Hoare, they battle for it in the corner. And a lot of things. The four-man unit in there. A scrum finally cleared by Wentworth. This one's going to go all the way down the ice and be good enough for icing. 1:39 to go in the first period. It is Wentworth Gryphins 3, Stoney Creek Tigers 1. Pretty clean opening period. I mean, an errant high stick and a slash, but nothing really dirty. There was a really good hit at one point there. That's with a man into the corner. Now back to the point. Roberto's shot gets deflected. Seen at the last minute by Camilleri, who got the pad on it. Sinigorat's trying to find something to do with it. And he can't. This one goes all the way down the ice for icing again. Sinigorat's doing a great job of keeping the puck in, but we've really seen Poliziani excel at that particular side of the ice and keep the puck in at least 2 or 3 times tonight. And it's one of the strengths of his as a defenseman, is especially in this rink where bounces can be a little bit crazy. We do see that puck skipping a bit on the ice tonight, and props to Poliziani, who's made excellent plays keeping it in. Into the corner, Roberto tries to go to get it. Poliziani's going to have to pinch and force Wentworth to make a decision. They decide to go back and reverse it a bit. Into the corner it goes. Stoney Creek stays on the puck. Poliziani comes up with the puck, centers it into the slot. James scores! High blocker side again. Clock is still running. A few extra seconds came off the clock there as that one went in. But Cordell James makes it a 1-goal hockey game. With just over a minute, they did add those few seconds on. A minute 4 left to go. So that goal will come at 18:56 of the first period. And that's a big goal because Stoney Creek needed the next one. Under a minute to go. Into the slot. Stoney Creek with the puck. Poliziani dug it out and finally got the puck in front. And he does a shot there. That stopped. Stoney Creek looking for more before this period's over. They are now in the Wentworth zone with 39 seconds to go in the period. Behind the net goes Roberto. Centered. Puck is loose. Poliziani swept at it, but it went under his stick. McLeod missed that one. This is Poliziani playing it. Whalen plays it off the boards, and Brett Fleming leads it up into the S series. Misses the puck. It goes back into the zone. Corbett playing it with Petrantonio on top of him. Again, another weird bounce off that sideboard area. Spilled was Petrantonio. 4 seconds. Goes behind the net. Petrantonio gets it. He's got to filter it to the front of the net. He does, but that's going to do it for the first period. And the score at the end of 1, Stoney Creek Tigers 2, and the visiting Wentworth Gryphins 3 here in Game 3 of the Robertson Cup Final, with the series tied at 1 in a best of 5. Back with the second period after this. So, yeah. Second period coming up here. It was Wentworth that got on the board first. Then Essery tied it with a point shot that was blocker side. 2 more quick ones from Wentworth, and then James got one before the end of the period. Guess where? High blocker side. Is everybody taking notes? Good. They're both one-time, well, not really one-timers, but just sort of bumper passes into the slot. And we're ready to go with the second period here as they gingerly touch tips. Oh, Camilleri's got to put some fresh tracks in front of are on the blue paint. He's going for a lighter shade of blue. It was ocean, and now it's periwinkle. Through center, and it is Wentworth dumping the puck in as Poliziani goes back to the Stoney Creek goal with the puck now and leading the play out. To center on the fresh ice here. Strange bounces and fresh ice. That's what happens here at the Stoney Creek Arena. That one very offside. But the linesman in an awkward position to make the call. Perhaps got bumped, and that's why that call was a little late. Well, actually, when it looked like Stoney Creek wouldn't vacate, that's when they called it. 3-2 Wentworth here in game 3. Poliziani takes it into the corner, plays it off the boards, and Fleming will pick it up for Wentworth and try and clear the zone. He just does. But Stoney Creek gets the puck back as Roberto makes a couple of plays. Then off the boards, Lomas, he's got a goal in this one. Now into the slot, another chance for Wentworth. Good save by Sweden there as the shot went high on him. Poliziani trying to flip it ahead. That one rather flat against one of those bolts in these wooden beams here at the Stoney Creek Arena. So this one will come, I don't know where they're going to put the face-off. It'll be interesting. It's going to go all the way back into the Stoney Creek zone. Thought maybe outside, but they're going to play it from wherever the puck was shot. To the point. Shot in the pad, saved by Sweden. That could have been potentially dangerous on a rather harmless-looking play. Poliziani so eager to get back to the bench that he dove and slid. Now a long lead pass. Just gets the zone. But Wentworth, boy, lots of speed out there on the short ice. Wentworth now getting the puck over on this side to Diodati. Fired a shot. Deflected by the skate of Forsland. Petrantonio has the puck. He leads it up to Essery. Essery through center, back to Petrantonio. Petrantonio going wide, tries to come to the front of the net. Puck comes loose. Whalen backhander. Second chance, and it's covered up by Camilleri. Essery dumped pretty hard in front of the net there. But everybody acting like that was expected. Standard fare in front of any goaltender. Face off to the glove side of Camilleri. Stoney Creek trailing by 1 here in game 3 of the Robertson Cup final. They scrum the puck. Wentworth tries to get it out, but they do. Harvey has it, and he'll flip it ahead into the zone for Caruso. Caruso plays it in front of the net. Webster's there. Nearly had it knocked off his stick. It was knocked off his stick, but Stoney Creek able to clear the zone. White and Gignac battling for it. Sticks just cutting like scissors through those loose pucks. And Wentworth winning that battle. Tricito behind the net. Makes a play to Gignac. Gignac lobs it into center. It's kept in, but Webster picks it up on Harvey's play. His lead pass goes just past Salt. Salt playing it into the corner, trying to go for it. It goes winding around the boards and changes being made. Roberto tries to punch it back in. Look out, Wentworth with a chance here. This is Lewis. Lewis into the slot, just goes wide. Now back to the point. That's intercepted off of Horan. This could be a 2-on-1. It is. Webster. Webster trays it into the slot, and it just rolls in on Camilleri. Maybe waited a little too long there. Now back into the high point. It's intercepted by Harvey, and Harvey goes through center and dumps it back down the other way. Sinagoratz intercepts, tries to lead it ahead for match, but it's intercepted back again by Wentworth and played in. They go back and forth with it. Into the Stoney Creek zone. One play out and offside there, so this one's going to come all the way back. Nope, just outside. He did touch the puck. So they penalize, well, Hutchinson might actually work better to have a face-off there, given the way that play was developing. 17-14 to go, second period, 3-2 in favor of Wentworth over Stoney Creek. Game 3 Robertson Cup final. Reed lumbers with it through center. Vela into the corner. Haven't seen him too much. Fleming intercepted by Vela. Reed plays it in front, and Geiger, who was pinching in from the point, had an opportunity. That's the captain for your Stoney Creek Tigers. Lead pass through center, and this one goes on that side. Lomas playing it in. It goes to the front of the net, now into the corner. Geiger plays it. Geiger will flip it up over to the other side. This one goes through center. Hutchings goes back to get it. In the slot, Lomas looking for it. Lomas shoots. That just got under the arm of Sweden, but he got it with a blocker and had enough of it to steer it aside. Now back to center is Corbett. Plays it off the boards all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Poliziani tries to wind it up, but it's intercepted. They go cross ice. Now it deflects to the other way, and Geiger tries to get it going to James. James to Roberto. Roberto bringing it in over the line, but James was just ahead of him, and that play is whistled offside. 16:08 to go. Second period. Wentworth Gryphins 3, Stoney Creek Tigers 2. Game 3 Robertson Cup final. In a best of 5 series. Series tied at 1. Oh, Ron and Ross have positioned themselves now in the offensive end. Closer to the ice, and all alone in front, and in there, nice back play by Tracito, who got back just in time to hack that away before there was a really golden Wentworth opportunity. Lead ahead to Roberto. Roberto looking to James going into the slot, and it's cleared by Wentworth. It's going to be McLeod. McLeod has a step. McLeod going in, shoots, save, and the rebound is not anywhere to be found as it's in the midsection of Seaton. Sorry, did I knock that? I think this is be problematic. I'll try and get that out of the way there, Ryan. Face off to the glove side of Seaton. McLeod in to take the draw against Essery. McLeod, they scrum away. Goes into the corner behind the net, and Stoney Creek able to clear the puck out. Lead pass. This is Essery. Essery in the slot. But wow, the fans that are on the blue line over on that side did not care for that call at all. There's a lot of Stoney Creek jerseys just inside that blue line, and the ref you are not one of our favorite chants gets going and dies as quickly as it began. That puck is won to Sinigoratz, who takes a long shot in, and Camilleri didn't know where it was for a second. Sinigoratz has to wait for his mates to clear. Now that was definitely offside. Ryan Foss leading the playoffs with assists, or he's number 2 with 7 of them. Cole Poliziani leading with 10 of them here in the postseason. That's pretty remarkable for the 5 games he's played. Diodati checked by Essery. Now Whalen brings the puck over the line, fires a shot, deflects wide, the rebound comes out. Look out! It was at the bench and nearly too many men, too many players. That's a nice lead pass for Essery. Essery trying on the angle, but he lost the handle on it just as he went to shoot, and it goes back behind the net. Harvey going to play it in the corner. Harvey going to reverse it. Gets over Diodati's stick. Throw it to the front of the net, and Whalen had a chance as Bo Webster tried to get it to him. Geiger there to pick it up in the slot. That glove shot missed by about 5 feet. In front of the net, Camilleri's down. It looked like Webster. Camilleri's mask is off. He's not moving. Exception taken to Webster, who has 2 players over him, and a referee with his arm up. Keep an eye on how this one called, as Wentworth already has a goal in this one. Camilleri back up, clearing the cobwebs out. Webster looks to be headed to the penalty box. They're both going to go. So perhaps their hijinks caught Camilleri in the fray. The Lewis and Webster vaudeville act had an unwanted participant. Trainer out there talking to Camilleri. I don't see any penalties on the board yet. So they might just be going off, which would suggest that the contact in front of Camilleri was incidental and brought about by the shenanigans of two players who weren't seeing eye to eye. Goaltender is getting a little extra time to recover, and why not? There's some guy in an orange shirt in the upper level here at the Stoney Creek Arena wearing a t-shirt and golden mullet locks. He's my spirit animal. In the corner it goes for White. White plays it around. No power plays. They'll both go off. Geiger finds Salt, spins around, and that just goes through the crease. Now Geiger fires a shot, hoping that would hit a leg. It didn't. And it's Hutchings coming out on a 3-on-2. This is Foss. Foss back to Hutchings, back to Foss. They center it. Puck goes to the net, and Sweden goes into the net. The referee has a penalty coming up. It looks like liberties were taken, and it's going to be Hutchings going off for 2 or less. Goaltender interference, the call for Alex Hutchings. So a good chance here for that power play, which had 4-minute opportunity in the first period and was unable to score. Wentworth really sharp on the penalty kill so far tonight. About 2 or 3 good chances for the Tigers, and they'll have to start this one in their own zone. Sweden leaves it there for Poliziani. Poliziani will start out. That's Dan Poliziani to center. Drop pass for Geiger. James brings it through center. James sets up on that side, will dump it low. It's picked up there by Roberto. We're on milestone watch with him, but better not pay too much attention to that because a goal is really what's needed. Geiger to pick it up. That was nearly intercepted by Giftopoulos, who again finds the puck at his feet. Cole Poliziani brings it in over the line. Wentworth can't clear it. Kept in there by Roberto. Roberto takes it behind the net, clear to the line, knocked down by Geiger, but he's going to have to clear the zones. Poliziani uttering an old German phrase on the way off the ice, rather audibly. Cross ice pass. This is Whalen. Whalen turns in the slot. Poliziani couldn't fire it cleanly, but he gets the puck right back. He missed Geiger with that pass. Geiger's going to fight to keep it in. It goes down to James. Cross ice pass, way up in the air. Maybe in lacrosse that's in. Not there. Back to the point. Geiger keeping it in. He just plays it down low for James, or tried to. And Wentworth gets a couple of swipes at it, and Bear is going to clear the puck all the way down the ice. We haven't seen much of Dylan Bear in this hockey game. 36 seconds to go in the power play. And looks like Stoney Creek will get one more chance to try and tie the score here in game 3. Whalen brings it in over the line. Whalen takes it behind the net. Around the boards, Tracito. He's looking to fire it. Plays it down low. Puck is loose. Comes into the slot. And slowly rolls in and bounces on Camilleri, who picks it up with 16 seconds left on the Stoney Creek power play. Webster and Lewis out of the box for their disagreement earlier. They've served their time. They served their nickel. Face-off, won by Wentworth, and that will just about do it for the power play, which has 10 seconds left on it. Stoney Creek might be able to get the zone, and they don't. Essery, long shot by Sinagoratz. A full extension by Camilleri. I don't think he got the rebound off his skate like he had hoped. Tracito will fire it back in. So Wentworth continues to be pretty sharp, killing the power play. A strength of Stoney Creek's in the postseason for sure. Vela, play it back in his zone to Sinagoratz. Tracito. Vela through center, backhands it in. Madge giving chase. Gets to the puck, but it's Wentworth that gets to it first. And Hutchings leads it out. Wentworth brings it in over the line. Hutchings, tough angle shot. Oh, and Sinagoratz got a cross check to the face there. And here comes the exception. Roberto realizing what's going on now, going after his man. That's Michael Lomas, a goal scored in the first period. Some pushing, some shoving, some jersey tugging. The official not wanting to hear anything more about it as Lomas trying to appeal his case. Sinagoratz is back up, heading to the bench. Lomas turning around. And as Sinagoratz gets to the bench, he's repeating the words power play. I don't know why they think there's going to be a face-off there. Oh, actually, Sinagoratz is going off. They're both going off. So no power play on it at all. Both will receive minors and cool down. Although the officials are still talking it over. Corbett wants to know why the face-off's outside. And the reason is the nature of the infractions. Poliziani plays it off the boards to Geiger. Geiger, one pass and it's out. But it doesn't get to anyone. White with a long shot in. Sweden going to keep it down and send it right to Geiger, who's right there. Geiger takes a couple of steps. Long lead pass knocked down by White. Wentworth will fire it into the corner. Geiger there again. Bit of a chess match here. White at the point. Goes over to the far side. Hoare tries to bounce it off the boards. He did exactly that. They've been studying the boards here in this rink. Just over the halfway point of this game. Poked ahead by Salt. Camilleri motioned to come out with the puck, and he does. Webster's going to get a shot. Lets it go, and that's a nice blocker save by Camilleri, considering where he was. Look out, this is Skiptopoulos. Skiptopoulos shoots. Save by Sweden. That's a big one. Has some end-to-end opportunities with the long passes. Mike Roberto brings it in over the line. Into the slot to Poliziani. Now to James. He just missed on the blocker side. Stays in the corners and hits the official. Oh, and a weird centering pass there by Poliziani, but it's knocked down by Camilleri. And just underneath him, Giftopoulos with another chance. Boy, he has been red hot, and that stick is finding the puck, and the puck is finding the stick. He's been lucky enough to find the net on several occasions in this postseason. James winning the draw, goes back behind the net. Fleming with the puck. Cross ice pass to Lewis. Lewis, long dump in by Corbett. James, he had a chance, but it just missed his stick. And now he races into the boards, bodies flying. Roberto weaving and diving, now trying to get it to James. It's intercepted. James in front, and it just rolls through the crease. Harvey back to get it. Harvey plays it off the boards. It goes off of Fleming, and Fleming leads it up to Caruso. Caruso makes one play, and that goes back off the boards, and now behind the net. Tracito, long lead passes. He's hit hard by Lewis after the play. This is Poliziani, who's got a bit of room. Poliziani makes one move in the slot! Just getting a glove on it was Camilleri, and it goes out of play. All of a sudden, Poliziani found himself with a handful of ice, and he made the most out of it, and a really fine save by Camilleri, as that was a good shot, anchored right between the elbow and the crossbar, and he had to really bring that glove in. Whalen tries to bat it ahead, but it's Wentworth that gets the puck out. Roberto over on that side to Nagoratz. Nagoratz over to Roberto. Her long pass in just gets past Whalen and into the corner. Camilleri winds it around the boards, and Dylan Bear playing the puck there. He's hit by Petrantonio. Diodati misses it. It's going to be Matt Hoare playing that out to center. Roberto's and Hoare's. Essery bodies and gloved ahead in the neutral zone. 8:51 to go in a much more cautiously paced second period. It's still 3-2 for the Wentworth Gryphins, the defending Robertson and Allen Cup champions. Webster to take the draw against Foss. Webster wins it. Back in the zone for Geiger. Geiger to Poliziani. Poliziani tries to lead it up. He was hit hard after the play by Lomas. Geiger doesn't like it. He's talking to him. Nobody going after Lomas. It was loud, and Poliziani is very slow to get up. Stephanie very quick to get on the ice. I don't know if Poliziani just got bumped in a very inconvenient way. Looking at his hand, he's had a rough go of it those last couple of weeks here in the Allen Cup Hockey League. Two minutes for a late hit there, I think. Boarding. Stoney Creek will get another attempt on a power play. So far, Wentworth has looked very sharp killing. Lomas was leading the postseason with 24 minutes and penalties. He has 28 now, as he's had quite a few in this game already, in this period. He's had two. This is his second time visiting the box. Geiger keeps it in. Plays it down low. James filtering it to Cole Poliziani. Poliziani rotates. Now looking back at the point. Geiger, cross ice for Tricito. Tricito had to make a play there, otherwise could have been defensively dangerous. James keeps it in, finds Poliziani. Poliziani heads to the half boards, back to James. James had it knocked off his stick, and that one goes down the ice. And Stoney Creek will have to regroup with 1:20 to go in the power play and 8 minutes to go in the second period. Tricito leads that through center. His backhander, Camilleri catches it, thought about moving it to the side there to Diodati, and said, no, I'll keep it. And they're going to do the face-off instead. That'll allow a change of personnel for both teams. Stoney Creek will take the face-off to the blocker side of Camilleri. Camilleri glancing back to see how much time's left in that penalty. 1:08. Petrantonio over to Poliziani. Poliziani to Whalen, centered it. Now to Petrantonio. Petrantonio spins around with it, gets it back to Essery. Now to Petrantonio in the slot to Poliziani. Filters it through. Puck comes loose all the way back to the point. Now Poliziani in the slot. Pokes it. Deflected. Poliziani's getting another chance. It's just knocked off his stick by Lewis. Behind the net it goes to Essery. Essery trying to get it back to Whalen. Whalen to Petrantonio. Deflected. Just goes wide off the point shot. Poliziani now on the half boards, looking for an opportunity to filter it through. Now Petrantonio back to Poliziani. Poliziani stepping in, deflected out of play. 28 seconds to go on the power play. Essery takes the draw, but Wentworth wins it. They try to clear it. Geiger keeps it in. Geiger takes it back to the blue line. Over to Poliziani. He filters it through again. Doesn't get through, and that one goes all the way down the ice. 16 seconds to go in the power play. It looks like all that's left is another zone entry for Stoney Creek if they can do that, as Wentworth looking very effective on the penalty kill here tonight. Salt past the defenseman, but he has to hold up and is a bit flat-footed. Penalty is now over. Lomas just realizing it a few seconds late, actually. Plays it off the boards, but the puck was coming right in front of the penalty box, so maybe as a courtesy, he gave right away. This is Poliziani losing it just at the blue line. He didn't have much of an offer. Geiger will fire it around the boards. They overload that side where Webster keeps it away from Hoare as Gignac goes after it. Lomas, fresh out of the box, will try and reverse it the other way. Giving chase is Petrantonio. Hoare plays it now this side to White, and White bringing it back out over on the far side and off the boards and down the ice and all the way to Sweden. Sweden's going to cover up as he does not like the look of the encroaching forward. That is the tall and lanky Ryan Foss going in on him yet again. Face off one, back to the point. This is Fleming. Fleming dumps it in off the boards and centers it. Gignac flips it out to Petrantonio. Petrantonio has it, gets it into the slot on to Gignac, and it just, with a puck in front, it rolled somehow through the crease. How did that stay out? Gignac fires it, a blocker save. Gignac gets the puck again, tries to go across the slot. Camilleri down, another shot, loose puck, off to the side it goes. Scrambles, all sorts of action in front of the Wentworth net. Point shot deflected, just goes wide. Now back into the slot, Fleming to the line, and just clears it. Oh boy, Stoney Creek in a desperate attempt to try and tie this hockey game, but Wentworth hanging on. Chinagorak will fire it into the corner. Reed in after it, but Fleming on it first. Corbett now has it. Corbett. Chinagorak with a couple of old German words as he skates off the ice. Lead pass for Vela. Vela tips it ahead, gets it past Fleming. Camilleri leaves it there. Leaves it there for Vela. Vela is actually going to see if he can make something out of this. Forsland now pinching. Goes behind the net. Vela still with it to Tricito. Tricito fires a shot. Knocked down in front. Oh, and it looked like that hit Mitchell Reed. And he's slow to come off the ice. Now behind Forsland. Vela. Most of the play, granted, been a lot of power plays into the Wentworth end, but they're hanging on to the 1-goal lead with 4:32 to go in the second period. Here in Game 3 of the Robertson Cup Best of 5 series, tied at 1. It's a best of 3 now. Caruso plays it over on that side. Harvey dumps it into Caruso. Forsland is on him. Loose puck picked up by Lewis. Lewis tried to skate into the middle, had it knocked off his stick. That lead pass just misses James. It'll go past Diodati, who fires it around the boards. And Cole Poliziani's on it. Cole trying to find a line to the net, goes to the back of the net, center. Geiger can't keep it in as it's just cleared by Wentworth, and a diving Harvey makes a good play. That deflected play by Roberto goes in for James. James digs it up in the corner, trying to find someone to go to. Roberto a little slow getting to it. It's going to be on that side, cleared down to the line. Oh, maybe an opportunity for Hutchings, but it's going to be Sweden that comes out and around the boards. Geiger had it taken off him, and Wentworth controls in his own. Lewis at the point. Lewis takes a step into the middle. Lewis waits, shoots, blocked by Geiger. Geiger to the line, not out. Now in front of the net. White keeps it in, plays it to an open corner. Poliziani to Petrantonio. Petrantonio with a nice pass to Geiger. Geiger bringing it in over the line. 3:07 to go, second period. Foss takes it off Geiger's stick, and Geiger is out of gas. Sinagorak going for his man, just missed. Now behind the net, Whalen looking. This one's offside. Sinagorak trying to lobby that one should be all the way back. It's going to be just outside the zone, that offside call. face-off, one. Now into the quarter. Hoare plays it off the boards. Trying to go back to this out. Oh, a breakaway pass there, trying to find a pinching Gignac. Picked up by Stoney Creek, but now Wentworth plays it to center. McLeod through the neutral zone to Giftopoulos. Sinagoratz with one play to Webster, and it stopped right there. Over the line with obviously a big hit over on that side. Robertson involved. Big open side opportunity for Giftopoulos, but he couldn't play it. Some good hitting. This one's deflected. It will not be icing. Maybe an opportunity for the long change for at least Tinagorak to get out and Tracito to come on. But that's it. That one will go all the way for icing. Coach Matt Becca getting an explanation now as to the icing there. And the offside call. Admittedly, a lot of the calls have gone Stoney Creek's way. They've had the bulk of the power plays in this period. Now to the side of the net, James is going to pick it up. James seeing a lot of ice, gets it into the slot to Poliziani. That's blocked, it's still in the feet. Poliziani again scores! Poliziani ties it up! And the playoffs leading scorer adds another! And we're tied here in game 3. Nice point back to the goaltender there from Poliziani. But guess where that one went, Ryan? Blocker side. Three here in game 3. 2 minutes to go in the second period. Tracito picks it up behind the net. Boy, he had a man bearing down on him. A Gryphon with a dragon scale. The smell of brimstone and dragon scale all over him. Tracito plays it up to Mitchell, but that's going to be Madge. Madge brings it in over the line, fires a shot. That's a nice save by Camilleri. Nothing's easy in a game like this. Goes behind the net where Mitchell Reed was going to pick it up. Vela can't keep it in. Horsland, long shot, goes wide and hacks around. This is Corbett. Corbett plays it off the boards. Could come in front. They do. Oh, and a great opportunity there. Vela again shoots. Nice glove save by Camilleri. But what a turnover in the Wentworth end. Nearly resulting in the go-ahead goal for Stoney Creek with 1:12 to go. The Zamboni door comes up. It's just past 8 o'clock. Local time. Drives one, goes back to the point. Geiger tries to float it in the direction of the net. Doesn't. Foss misses it and it goes into the corner. This is Essery picking it up for Stoney Creek. Last minute in the second period. Whalen just misses it. Now chops it, goes into the corner. Giving chase is Essery. He centers it. Camilleri tries to play it to a loose area. This is going to be interesting. Hutchings coming in, and Poliziani just gets there in time in that foot race. Off the boards, lead pass, look out. Webster's going to have a chance. Webster goes behind the net, looking for options. Camilleri down in the slot, fires a shot. Pad save by Camilleri. Intercepted by Lomas. Lomas winds it around the boards. Hutchings tries to play it through center into the corner, goes with 23 seconds left. Geiger in the period. Goes past the bench. Nobody had to play it there. They had to be careful, but Elijah Roberts, the speedy Elijah Roberts, back to get it for Wentworth. Now Salt plays it. Knocked down. McLeod fires a shot. Scores! Wentworth gets the lead back as McLeod stepped in over the line, and that one went off the post and in with 6.4 seconds left in the second period. A really nice shot by McLeod. Sweden doesn't give you much to look at, so that one was perfectly level on the short side, just above the goal pad, and went off the post and in. Long shot on Camilleri. They're going to let the clock run out, and that's the end of the second period. The score after 2 periods of play, Wentworth Gryphins 4, Stoney Creek Tigers 2. Back with the third period after this. So the third period coming up between these two teams now. In Game 3 of the Robertson Cup Final. (4-3) Wentworth leading in a 1-1 series. That is a best of 5. It's now a best of 3. As both teams have one game. A really strong period from Stoney Creek. A lot of man advantages. No power play goals. But they were able to tie this game. Wentworth led 3-1 at one point in the first period. It was 3-2 after the first. And then with 6.4 seconds left in the second period, a point shot by McLeod beat Sweden on the blocker's side. And Wentworth regained their lead that they were clinging to in that second period. Poliziani again was tied it, and he's been quite a force majeure. That's a legal term for those of you out there wondering what it means and who aren't sure that I do. I know I'm not. Geiger with the puck now for Stoney Creek. Dumps it in the corner. And a long dump in ends up being icing. So 10 seconds into this third period, we'll have a face-off all the way back in the Stoney Creek zone. Face-off to the blocker side of Sweden. Draw one, and Cole Poliziani comes to the puck and kind of takes it out. James, he's seen a ton of ice time tonight. He's been playing very well. Does have a goal in this one. Centering attempt. Now it is in front. Backhander, nice save by Camilleri. The puck comes right in front. You got to feel that it's going to take a little bit of a lucky bounce, and in this rink, there's no shortage of them. James trying to play it at the line. That's poked ahead by Yoakum. Played ahead with a high stick. So the face-off will come back. Not sure if it'll be all the way into the zone. To the blue line, just outside the blue line. A couple stoppages in play here to start this cautious third period. Wentworth wins the draw. Yoakum takes it back into his own zone. Now it's played ahead and down into the zone and out of play. Draw one by Wentworth. Yoakum through center. Sweden minding that what could have been a crazy bounce. It's our fourth whistle inside the first minute. I don't like those numbers. McLeod in to take the draw against Essery to the blocker side of Sweden in the Stoney Creek zone. Stoney Creek wins it and Tricito takes it. Good lead pass out there for Whalen. Whalen, long dump in, just misses the net. Now it comes in front. It's going to be cleared as Elijah Roberts finds Giftopoulos on this side. Roberts tries to barrel through center, but it's going to be picked up by Diodati. His pass to Yoakum. Yoakum, long dump in, steered in the blocker by Sweden. That shot just misses. Centering play. Slowly comes in front of the net. Tricito surgically getting it out of the way. Hops over Yoakum, stick goes to Whalen, but he's by himself. Yoakum plays it off the boards, all the way down right onto Sweden, icing way it off. Roberto with one pass. Webster gets it, brings it in over the line. Webster tried to find Gignac, but Gignac had committed elsewhere. White, lead pass. Caruso Corey Caruso drops it to Lewis, fires a shot. Nice save by Sweden. The rebound comes in front of the net. Puck goes behind the net. Now a wraparound attempt. Oh, and another nice attempt by Lewis. Lewis fires a shot. Sweden has it. The puck is loose. It was on the doorstep at a second attempt. And guess who? It's Harvey. And Sweden takes exception to that. You normally don't, the mild-mannered and jovial Sweden, usually not taking exception to a secondary hack like that. Harvey trying to explain that the puck is loose, and it was, but the whistle had gone. So they're both right. Harvey will skate off. Sweden will have a beverage. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, just the way he likes it. Madge comes on the ice. Stoney Creek gets a full change. The home team here. Madge to take the draw against Lewis. Won by Stoney Creek, but cleared to the line and not out. White pounds it back into the corner. Geiger makes one play. Poliziani lobs it to center. White knocks it down. Skating backwards, plays it. Reed is in offside. He had a man ahead of the play. Vela. And White behind the net for Wentworth. Long lead pass to Lewis. Lewis cutting to the net. Lewis goes wide to the front of the net. And Sweden makes a nice pass off of that. That one goes into the Stoney Creek bench. And we'll have another stoppage in play. Good rush there by Lewis as he was charging the net. 17:30 to go. We play 2.5 minutes of this third period. And Wentworth Gryphins leading 4-3. Looking to take this game back home, ahead 2-1, and have a chance to win the Robertson Cup on home ice. Madge brings it in over the line, plays it to the front of the net. Harvey bounces it off the boards. Corbett, bounces ahead. In stride is Foss. Foss picks up the puck, knocked to the side by Tristito. Nice defensive play there. It's the little things and plays like that. When you get an entry and get a bit of momentum, which is hard to find on this ice, not a lot of breakaways tonight. Just getting a defensive play like that is essential. Late hit there. That one goes down the ice. Sweden going to play it to an open corner. Forsland was there, but Wentworth gets to the puck first. And now it's Roberto. Lead pass to Poliziani. Poliziani takes it wide. Plays it in. Another shot. That goes over top of the net and out of play. As Cordell James stepped into that one. James takes the draw, wins it, gets a play, score! You couldn't have drawn it up any better. Poliziani on the doorstep, and this game is tied. James wins the draw, gets it into the slot. Poliziani from James. And right there, with a wide open net, unbelievably was Poliziani, and we're tied. Here again in the third period for the third consecutive game. Yoakum keeps it in, now chipped over to the line. Diodati will play it back in. Matt Roberto gets it to Chinigorak. He goes through center, trying to get around Roberts, does. Now kicks it into the corner, but Diodati takes the puck off him. Clears it to the line and just out. Skips over a few sticks. Mike Roberto to Matt Roberto, who spins around and clears the zone. Still has the puck now. Roberto over the line. Fires a long shot on Camilleri. Tough angle shot. Goes up into the rafters and out of play. And over the screen in the corner. 15:52 left to go in the third period, and we got ourselves a tie game. Both these teams tied at 4. This series tied at 1. Into the slot it goes. Whalen trying to fight for it. Does. Good cross-ice attempt there, but nobody home. Geiger will play it ahead, but White intercepts, and Wentworth brings it to center. Back into the corner. Now it's Dan Poliziani. Long pass through center. Misses everyone. That could be icing. It, in fact, is. So this period being played very cautiously. Good crowd in here tonight. Harvey takes it in the corner for Wentworth. Plays it around the net. Essery knocks his man down. The Wentworth bench wanting a call, none forthcoming. Harvey plays it back to his man. And it's in the neutral ice area, and nobody really knew who to go for it. Now it's Geiger. Makes a couple of nice plays. The husband of Renata Fast, Canadian Olympian. Long shot in on Camilleri from the point, and Whalen from one knee glides the rest of the way, and we'll have another stoppage in play. Face off to the blocker side. Boards and flipped out of play. That's Lomas missing it. And it'll come all the way back into the Wentworth zone. Puck is lively. It's bouncing quite a bit in the air here tonight. Webster wins the draw, gets it in the slot. Backhander by Salt. Doesn't go through. Now it's through the rafters to the point. Forsland, he's got a shot. Lets it go. Puck is loose. It's in between Camilleri's legs. I'm a little surprised that the whistle didn't go sooner, because it did go sooner in the Stoney Creek end there. And Camilleri clearly had that between the legs. I don't know if the official just lost sight of it. If I'm Wentworth, they might have a case there. 14:41 to go in the third period. 4-4 the score. Camilleri getting a beverage and an explanation. And on goes the Armor. Face-off won so cleanly it cleared the zone. Trocito plays it off the boards ahead, and it's knocked in. Icing waved off, but it is Fleming with the puck now and tries one lead pass for Wentworth. Bumped off the puck was Lomas. Webster tries to get it into an area for Salt. He's unable to get it. Over on this side, Hutchings brings it in. Hutchings has it taken off him, and Stoney Creek gets the puck back. They try to cross-ice pass. Lomas locks down Salt, but no, it's all fair now. It's going to take quite something to actually be a penalty. It's going to have to be pretty blatant from this point on. Forsland knocked it down with a high stick. That wasn't a high stick. That was, Forsland's tall. It's got to be above the shoulder. That was elbowish. But change of personnel coming for both teams. 14:04 to go in the third period. 4-4 the score. And we're getting a lot more whistles this period, as these two teams cautiously enter this pivotal period of this pivotal game. Geiger plays it off the boards to Poliziani. Long lead pass. Knocked down by Diodati. Reed Yoakum plays it over to Elijah Roberts. He's got a bit of room, fires a shot, goes through the keeps and wide. Unable to keep it in, and it's Cordell Dillon trying to get to it. That one goes off the glass and out of play. Nope, not out of play, out of the zone. Looked like it was going to go over the glass there, but it was able to just go out of the zone. Long pass to McLeod. He backhands it in. Goes wide of Sweden. Geiger tries to play it across the boards in the slot area. Mike Roberto tries to chip it ahead. Nearly sprung James there. Roberts, he's got some room and he's dangerous. He brings it in over the line. Plays it off the boards. That's the second time he's tried a bank pass off that exact spot in this rink. One thing, it's not a secret. These boards are very lively, and it's a short rink. Sharp corners. And everything filters to the center. To the middle. Point shot deflected. That went up. It looked like it might have redirected, and I don't think Sweden saw it. Few people did. Such a crowd in front of that net. Madge into the corner to play for the puck. They bang away at it, trying to get it now back to the point. Lewis stopped on his exit, but he does get it to center. Harvey's got Caruso, gets Caruso in front, but the puck didn't settle down for him. Vela on his man. They bounce away at it. They fight in the corner. He's knocked down. Now back to the point. Missing a helmet is Vela. Scores! Fleming stepped in, and you gotta wonder if Vela having to head off the ice because his helmet fell off just gave Fleming enough room to step into that one and give Wentworth the 5-4 lead. Still plenty of time to go in this one. Tricito, long shot in. Boy, missed Camilleri. That one had a lot of speed. Petrantonio plays it. This is Hutchings. Foss leads it ahead. Tricito now up. Here comes Whalen. Whalen's got a bit of room on that side. Long shot in. Steered into the corner by Camilleri. Essery on top of it. And puck comes free, and it's going to be cleared by the goal scorer, Fleming, latest goal scorer. Hutchings tries to get it in. That one clears the zone. Essery with a nice pass to Whalen, who has his stick slashed out of his hand. And that's why coaches always hack you away. But he was going through traffic. Here goes Yoakum. Long shot. And shot late, but he was in his windup when the whistle went. I don't think he got all of it. Took as much off it as he could. And we'll have a face-off outside as that one was offside. Webster takes the draw, goes down back into the zone. Yoakum fires a long shot that goes wide. Sweden. Got to watch that bounce. That one cleared over the boards by Poliziani. We'll have another face-off. Guess what? Another face-off. Geiger cleared that one all the way down the ice. Gignac is first after it. Centers it. Plays it behind the net. Still back there. Webster trying to get it in front. Sticks held. Poliziani back at the point. Filters it to the front of the net. Salt at the side. Salt fires it up. I have a tough angle there. Still picked up. Stoney Creek still controlling. Poliziani fires a low shot. That was nicely blocked. But good sacrifice there by Diodati, who's having trouble getting off the ice and limping for a second time. Webster has a chance. He gets it in the corner. Webster gets it to the front of the net. Now back to the point. Poliziani fires a low shot wide. Now Geiger on the far side just keeps it in. They hack away at it. Boy, it's lots of loose pucks and scrambling. It's like watching youth soccer. Now at the side of the net, Geiger will play it off. Roberto has it. Plays it off. Poliziani trying to get to the front of the net. Just misses. This is James. Steps in. Tried a cute pass. Now it's Sinigoratz. Fakes the shot. Goes off to the side. Throws it back over to Roberto. Roberto pokes at it and now will throw it down low, hoping for support. Hoare plays it, but he lost it. It's James with the puck. James looking for an opportunity to bring it in front. Now Cole Poliziani to Roberto. To Sinigoratz. Sinigoratz plays it off the boards. Now back to the point. Sinigoratz, long shot. Knocked glove down. Into the corner. James centers it. Back to the point. Roberto shoots. Gets knocked down. Poliziani chases it into the corner. Good pressure from Stoney Creek here. They keep it behind the net. Poliziani, he's ridden off the puck by Lewis. But now they come around. Roberto, wrap around, goes through the crease. Pulled down, and it's going to be a penalty. White, looks like tripping on Roberto. That might be a good penalty to take because Roberto is in an excellent position. White has 2 minutes for tripping. Cam White, 2 minutes tripping. Essery to take the draw against Hutchings. And Stoney Creek, who has been not so lucky on the power play tonight, but pretty good in the postseason. Poliziani shot deflected by Essery, just goes wide. Essery comes up with the puck. Geiger back to Poliziani. Poliziani looking for a deflection there from Salt. That doesn't go in. Wentworth clears the puck, and it's going to be Lomas who looks around. He's by himself on a solo mission. You told me not to think, Maverick. Here comes Geiger through center. Stoney Creek gains the zone. Geiger goes to the middle. Has it knocked out of his stick, and they'll have to clear the zone. Poliziani fires it over to Essery. Now missing a stick, so there's 3.5 defenders out there. Let's see if Stoney Creek can do anything with that. Whalen dumps it in, but Salt is way outside the zone, and Corbett's going to chance to clear it around the boards. Poliziani knocks it back in after it came off outside. Wentworth suggesting that should come all the way back with 1:10 to go here in the third period of game 3. Faceoff will be just outside the Wentworth zone. James takes the draw, goes back to the point. Tricito on that side. Here comes Tricito again, a draw pass. This is Petrantonio. Petrantonio has it taken off him by McLeod. Look out. McLeod going in on a bad angle, deflected, steered towards the net. Second chance. Now back in front. They jam away at it. Behind the net, Sweden is down. And somehow Stoney Creek avoids disaster there. James gains the zone. James plays catch with Poliziani. James to Tricito. Tricito to Geiger. Tricito fires a low shot wide. Now James picks it up at the blue line. Gives it back to Poliziani, who takes his place. Now low down to James. James looking for options. Tries to dance away with it. Gets taken off his stick and flipped out with 18 seconds to go on the power play. An unforced error there. Geiger kicks it to an open spot. Stoney Creek has the zone. Geiger is down low. Tries a tough angle. Poliziani fires a shot into the skate of Harvey. He'll have to play it low for Roberto. Roberto reverses, comes the other way to the front of the net. Now cross ice. Bounces back to the front of the net. And it's just cleared away by Wentworth. This one will, I don't know. Sweden could have let that one go. I think it would have been icing. But here comes Stoney Creek nonetheless. Poliziani in over. Brings it into the zone. Madge gives chase. Now plays behind the net, and Fleming, who's got the go-ahead goal here in the third period, plays it to Harvey. Knocked down. Harvey straddles the blue line and just carries it offside. Harvey not happy with the call, but it's not going to change at this point. Webster to take the draw against Foss. The speedy Foss. Long shot just goes wide of Sweden. That was a bit of an awkward reach. Puck led up. Diodati plays it, and that one goes all the way down the ice for icing. Hutchings, I think, thought he was ahead of the play. May have very well been offside. Essery takes the draw. Yoakum wheels out. Lomas backhands it in. Policiani has the puck. He's knocked down through center. Wentworth picks it up. Foss has got some room. Foss shoots, aiming for the glove side. Miss. That skips over a stick. Whalen picks it up. 1-on-2. Whalen waiting for people to catch up. Throws it to the front of the area. That is Petrantonio. He collides with White behind the net, and they fall down. And here comes Foss out. 6:30 to go. Stoney Creek trailing by a goal. They're trying to find the answer here. All of these games. Oh. An official goes down. All of these games have been very close in this period. Anyway. Face off to the blocker side of Sweden with 6:27 to go. Wentworth leading by 1. Series tied at 1 in a best of 5 for the Robertson Cup. Policiani, he gets hacked and makes the second attempt to play it out. Forsland dumps it into the corner. 4 on him, they bump and they're in the corner. They jam away at it. Now it goes behind the net. Nobody really coming up with it. Cole Policiani goes to get it. To the line, Tracito plays it low for James. Gets it in the slot to Cole Policiani. He's trying to center it. He goes behind the net. Policiani looking back for Tracito, but his pass was intercepted. Deflected pass gets to Wentworth, and they come out of the zone. A backhander just misses. Centering by Giftopoulos. That couldn't work. Elijah Roberts plays that one all the way back into his own zone. And Wentworth makes changes. First pass by Corbett to Harvey. Now just past Caruso. Gignac trying to get the puck. Does, but it's turned over to Corbett, who puts a long shot in on Sweden and steers it into the corner. Harvey playing it in the corner. Caruso with him. Fleming picks it up for Wentworth. Now back of the net. They center it. And it's picked up by Stoney Creek. Through center, Webster brings it in over the line. Webster tries to feed it to an open corner. It's Policiani who will just dump it behind the net and hope for support. That took a bounce. Policiani keeps it in again, but defend on it that time. And he has Harvey all over him. Harvey on Policiani, who was able to retain the puck. But it's a 2-on-1 now, Caruso and Lewis. Caruso to Lewis. Lewis shoots. He missed the net. Great chance for Wentworth there. Breath being held in Stoney Creek. Webster turns around, does a drop pass for Roberto. Roberto has it taken off him, and Chinagorak with the puck now. Plays it over to an open side. Yoakum misses. Taken off him by Petrantonio. Good defensive play there. They battle in front of the penalty boxes. Whalen backhands it ahead. Goes past Yoakum and into the corner, and Yoakum has it. He'll play it back. First attempt does not go out. Petrantonio might have a chance here. Petrantonio scored! Petrantonio glove side! This game's tied again! When Yoakum reversed the puck, it didn't get all the way around the boards, and Petrantonio found himself with a bunch of real estate, and he walked in and buried that one glove side just under the water bottle. .404 to go, and this game is tied. These two teams are putting on a show in the Robertson Cup final. Lomas brings it in over the line, intercepted. Chipped ahead, and Horn plays it back now. So that one is unassisted. Roberto plays it ahead. James gives chase. Foss looking for an exit strategy. Has one. He clears the zone and goes to center. Taken off his stick by Roberto, who goes the other way. Roberto leaves it there for James. He's seen a ton of ice in this third period, and he'll see some more as this game wears on. 3:25 to go. into the Stoney Creek zone. Played off the boards. Chipped out to center. Long shot in by Corbett. Geiger has it. Geiger, lead pass, skips ahead. Salt plays it into an open area. It's taken away by McLeod. McLeod has Roberts with him. McLeod shoots. That one goes out of play with 3:02 left in the third period. To the line. Salt plays it through center. That misses. The defenseman will go for icing. So we'll do that again. Who knew that Dave was a Black Eyed Peas fan? I did like it when the Oilers used this in their playoff run the year they were against Carolina for their entrance music. The whole production was great. Webster loses the puck. Point shot by Roberts. He just missed. And Roberts put everything he could on that wrist shot. Puck goes to Chinagorak. Long lead pass to Webster. Webster has to double back. Geiger just getting on the ice. They wind it around the boards. Gignac gives support on the far side, keeps the puck in, but Wentworth is going to get the puck out. Corey Caruso through center. Caruso tries to go to the backhander. He does. Nice save by Sweden. Everything is watched under a microscope now. Nothing can survive in a vacuum. Geiger. Lead pass to Mitch Reed. Taken away. Harvey at the blue line. Vela on him. Caruso over to Lewis. Geiger plays it in the corner. It goes to the blind, not out. Harvey trying to play it back. Does. Caruso has three men on him. Back to the point to Diodati into the slot. Hard shot. And wow, great opportunity there with $1:48 to go. Face off to the glove side of Sweden. James to take the draw against Lewis. Lewis has been all over the ice tonight. James, a shadow, if you will, of him. Cordell James and Lewis will take it again. They have both been big factors in this hockey game. Petrantonio, who's got so many goals in this building this year, has the tying one here with 1:38 to go. Diodati plays it, and it's kept in by Poliziani, but that's all. Diodati plays it back out. 1:10 to go. Caruso brings it in over the line. Cross-ice pass. Long shot by Hutchings, who's not afraid to let it go. Lets it to the front of the net. Lead pass for Poliziani. Fleming intercepts. They both have goals in this third period, and we're in the last minute. Yet again, between these two teams, tied. Wentworth picks up the puck. Fleming at the point. Shot gets deflected into the corner. Bounces around. Wentworth has the puck. Foss, 40 seconds to go. He's ridden to the boards, but not out. Long shots in front of the net. Puck is loose. Just knocked off the stick of Fleming. And they fire it around the ice to get it all the way down. And icing waved off. Wow. As the puck went around the boards. Whalen was the closest to it. Stoney Creek able to get a change. 20 seconds left. Of all the plays that haven't gone for icing, it was weird that that one at this point in the game would. Fleming with the puck. Comes out of the zone. Chance here with 7 seconds. Fleming fires a shot. Goes behind the net. Poliziani fires it around the boards. 1 second left, and guess what? We're going to overtime with these two teams for a third straight game. I think McLeod wants an explanation on icing. I wouldn't mind hearing it myself. Wow. Anyway. Well, Stoney Creek does what they set out to do, and they tied this game in the third period. They tied it in the second period, and again in the third. And for a third straight game, we'll have overtime. Back with that coming up. So, overtime about to start here at the Stoney Creek Arena, and for a third straight game in this series, we're going to overtime. Our statistician, Mike Marasco, and also, rink musician, DJ? Let's go with DJ. He wanted me to let everyone know. I'm getting tired. He wanted me to get everyone know that this is the fourth overtime game in the postseason for Wentworth. That ties a record set by the Brantford Blast in 2015. Game 1 went to overtime in this building. Wentworth won on an overtime goal by number 9, Alex Hutchings. Thursday night in Wentworth, that game went to overtime. The hero in that one, number 9, Cole Poliziani. And we're getting ready to go for overtime tonight. The crowd filing in tight. It is going to be exciting. Everybody's going to be on every play. And it'll be interesting to see because most of these games go in overtime. They're usually settled within the first 5 minutes. The longest one went to about 4 minutes into the second overtime in history. Roberto plays it. Poliziani leads it up to Cole Poliziani. He flips it in, giving chase is James, but Foss is on it. Roberto finishes his hit, goes to Lomas, intercepted by Cordell James. Corbett tries to play it around. Behind the net, they're looking to center it. James does it back. Oh, and Cole Poliziani just put it over top of the net. A great chance there. Dan Poliziani puts it low. Cordell James just misses it. And now it clears to the line. Geiger had it blocked, intercepted, and here comes Wentworth the other way. Wentworth, Hutchings fires his shot, goes off the mask of Sweden and out of play. He did not duck at all. He let that hit him right in the noggin. And now he's laughing with the officials of that. Great to put on a smile in this situation. As we get our first stoppage in play, and you can feel the tension, both benches completely standing. Face-off will be in the Stoney Creek zone. McLeod to take it against Essery. Those two have been matched up all night. One long shot. Giftopoulos has a low shot that was deflected. Roll in slowly. Forsland has it for Stoney Creek. Long lead pass. Deflected in by Whalen. Goes to the side of the net. Out to play it is Camilleri. Gets around the boards and Giftopoulos has it. Here comes Diodati. Long shot. Winds around the boards. Tricito chops it out. Gets out of the zone. Yoakum has to play it a bit, and Giftopoulos pokes it back into a safe area for Diodati. Yoakum tries to dump it in. Does. Just skips past Sweden. Wrap around by McLeod. Everybody throwing something at the net. Salt just missed with the lead pass. He's in there first, but Yoakum picks up the puck and now flips it to center. Tricito, the lone man back. He'll kick it to behind the net and try and wind it around the boards. It's going to get to Salt. Salt with a quick bumper pass to Whalen. Webster over the line. Oh, on that side, a shot by Gignac is blocked. Webster has it go the other way. This is going to be Kyle Lewis doing a nice little spinorama at the blue line to gain out of the zone. Now takes it deep. Poliziani takes the puck off of him and with one short pass gets it over to Gignac. Gignac with a long pass on this side to Salt. Salt plays it into an area for Webster. Webster has it at the side. Geiger, long shot. Camilleri just steers that into the corner. We're 2 minutes into overtime here in game 3. Lead pass over the line. Lewis. Lewis takes it wide. Now goes behind the net. Centers to Harvey, but it's deflected, and it's going to be Roberto. Roberto gets it just past White. White flips it back. It gets stopped by Harvey and goes back towards White. White to Fleming. Fleming just missed a hit from Roberto and does a pass back to White. All the way down the zone. Geiger bumps off his man and plays it safely into the corner. Off the glass. This one will go all the way down the ice. It's on its edge. It's going to go for icing. The ice is fresh anyway. Would have gone for icing probably either way. 17-23. We're just a few minutes, a couple of minutes into overtime here. A lot of people standing with their arms crossed in this one as the intensity ratchets up. Poliziani takes it in front of the net. An interesting play, but it worked. Got out of the zone. Poliziani's going to get another chance. He's going to reverse behind his net for Geiger. Geiger has a bit of time. Gets it to Roberto. Roberto gets it to himself. Now gets it to James. James gains the line and plays it deep. Roberto gives chase. He battles for the puck there, but it's Wentworth that comes up with it. Backhander through center. Roberto plays it over to Chinagorak. Chinagorak, taken off him by Foss. Hutchings has it now. Gets it back to the point. Shot. Scores! Corbett wins it for Wentworth. Wentworth takes a 2-1 series lead with another overtime win in this one. Game 4 will be Thursday night, April 2nd, 7:30 at Wentworth at the Harry Howell Arena. Let's hope that's not a last supper for this Stoney Creek team. If necessary, we'll be back here for Game 5 on Saturday, April 4th at 6:30 p.m. here in the Stoney Creek Arena. Officials talking to Sweden now, saying it's out, fans being saluted. The home team not winning at all in this series. We'll see ya, or we won't. The Robertson Cup couldn't have been won tonight, and there's still plenty of hockey to be played between these two teams. So long for now at the Stoney Creek Arena.